Hi class, this is course 2, lesson 17, measuring angles with a protractor. Okay, this is a protractor right here, this picture right here, that's a protractor. Make sure that you refer back to lesson 7 to get the definition for acute, right, obtuse, and straight angles. Acute, remember, is less than 90 degrees, right is exactly 90 degrees, and obtuse angle is going to be between 90 and 180 degrees, and then a straight angle is 180 degrees. Remember, you can also think about that video, the YMCA that we did, activity in class. Okay, so angles are measured in degrees. Okay, hopefully you picked up on that because we talk about 90 degrees, 180 degrees. A full circle is 360 degrees. So if we go around a full circle, if we measure from here and go all the way around, that is, like if we start here and then draw it all the way around, it's 360 degrees. And a semicircle, so half of the circle, would be 180 degrees, and that's right here. If we started here and drew around halfway around the circle, 180 degrees. Okay, so what can we do with that protractor? Well, we can measure the angles. So notice we have an angle written down here, and what I would like you to do is take notes on how to do this, and you don't have to try to copy an angle down and then measure it on your page. We'll get some practice with this in class, but this will be a good resource if you have questions about how to measure angles in the future. You can look up lesson 17 video or ask me in class. Okay, so here's an angle. This, remember, is the vertex. And these are rays that start at that same end point, but go in opposite directions or in different directions. And so we need to measure this angle right here. Okay. If you can see, I'm not measuring underneath it, I'm going to measure inside. That's the angle I want to measure. And so what we need to do is take our compass, and we're going to put this little circle, the little circle right there in the middle, we're going to put that on our vertex. Okay? So we're going to put the center point on our vertex. 1, put center point on vertex of angle. 2, we need to line up one of the rays with the 0. Okay, with the 0 degrees on the protractor. Okay, so what's that look like? Well, notice we have right here, this is lined up on the center point, the vertex is on the center point, and then this ray, I have this ray, now it could be the other one, I have this ray lined up right here at 0. Notice the other side says 0, 180, this side says 0, 180, but the 0 is on the inside, on this side, and on the outside, on this side. You can line up either way, and I'll do an example here in just a minute where I turn it. So what we need to do, then, we have it lined up, so then we're going to find where the other ray intersects the protractor. Locate other ray on the protractor. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Well, we don't want to use this one. We want to use this one. Okay, so where does it fall on the protractor? Well, it falls right here. Okay, so if I wrote a little note or made a little line here. Okay, sometimes you have to extend the angle, and when you need to do that, what you need to do is turn the protractor over and use the straight edge piece right here to extend your angle. But right now what I can see is that, and then we're going to write down for measure. Okay, so I start at 0, and where is 0? 0 is on the inside, so I'm going to use the inside set of numbers, 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, on and on and on. Here's 150. So it's between 150 and 160. So it's 151 to 153 degrees. Okay. Now, what happens if I wanted to use the other ray? Well, let's see if I can make this happen here. If I want to use the other ray, I need to spin my protractor, okay? Or spin the book. But I can use my protractor on any angle, in any direction. It doesn't matter. They don't have to be straight across on the bottom. Okay, let's see how close I did here. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. I gotta get it down there. I have my center point lined up on my vertex. Well, I did. There we go. Center point lined up on the vertex, and I have this side, this ray, lined up with 0. Now, keep in mind that the 0's on the outside this time. So I did one, put the center point on the vertex of the angle, did that. Number 2, line up one of the rays with 0 on the protractor. I did that, right? It's lined up. And notice too that there is a line right here. That'll help you make sure that you have things straight, but then also make sure that it lines up on the edge. There's a lot of error that can be introduced if you're not exactly straight. So line up, I did step 2. Number 3, locate the other ray on the protractor. So I did, that's right here. So now we're over here. And then measure. So I'm going to start on this end. It's 0, 140, 150, and then it's 153. Okay, now, here's an error that you might make. You might look at this and go, oh, well, it's 33. Okay, using what you know about angles, is this 33 degrees would be an acute angle, right? So is this an acute angle? No, it's obtuse. So obtuse angles have to be greater than 90 degrees. So that maybe will help you with that. The other thing is that when you look at this, don't get confused and think you count up from 160. Which way do the numbers go? It goes 150, 160. So then count from 150 to 160 to figure out how many it is. So it's 153. Okay. Make sure that you write down any questions you have right now and bring them up in class. Okay. I have one more thing to talk to you about though. And that is using a protractor to draw an angle. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to start with a ray. And you can put that ray anywhere on your page, going in any direction, it doesn't matter. Okay, I'm going to draw one going kind of straight out to the left, out to the right. For whatever reason, I get left and right mixed up all the time. Okay, so we're going to start with 1, draw a ray. Please use a straight edge or a ruler, something straight so that you're not making a wavy ray. Step 2, put the center point, put the center of the protractor on the end point of the ray. Okay, so let's do that. I'm going to put my well, that's funny. I zoomed. I didn't mean to zoom. See if I can back out of that. Oh, here we go. Oh, I have to hit the button long enough. Okay, well, while you're laughing at me, make sure that you have those, there we go. I'm getting it. Make sure you have those notes written down so that you know the steps to follow. Okay, we're going to put the center of the protractor on the end point. Okay, got it. Got it now. Center on the end point. My ray needs to be lined up. So make sure that step 3, line up the ray with 0. degrees. Okay, then we're going to put a mark at the measured spot. Okay, so I need a 60-degree angle. So I start at 0, go up, 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 and then I'm going to make a mark at 60 right there. Okay, now remember, I need to have 60 degrees would be an acute angle. So does this look like it'll be an acute angle? Yep. So I'm doing okay. So then we're going to put, you would move your protractor. We're going to move our protractor out of the way. And we're going to use a straight edge to connect our end point and the point we drew on our paper. And then we're going to say this is 60 degrees. So that's how you draw a 60-degree angle. Put a mark at the measured spot, and then we're going to use a straight edge. Use a straight edge to mark. Use a straight edge to draw the ray. Okay? So a little humor there, making that protractor super big, but hopefully you understand how to do this. So make sure that you write down any questions you may have, and then bring them to class. Okay? So I'll see you in class.